Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. AMC stock is down about 6% today. We need to get into what in the world is going on with AMC, with the broader markets, and what do you need to know about September? Because September tends to be a very bad month for the markets. In fact, the worst month ever, period, for the markets. So, what's going on? How could this affect AMC stock? And yeah, let's just talk about AMC stock being at $8 per share. Adam Aaron, AMC management, has no idea what they're doing, okay? Let's be honest there. They have not a clue what they're doing, how to run a company. I'm in unanimous agreement with what you guys are doing. At least they don't know how to run the share price of a company, okay? Maybe you got to give them credit. I guess they did okay running the business through COVID or whatnot, really capitalizing on retail. But at this point, they don't know what they're doing. So first things first, first thing I want to start with is what in the world is going on with AMC, and then we'll dive into what's happening in the markets today, because some interesting things are actually happening. So AMC stock is down 5.74% at the time of recording this video. You hit a low of $7.71 per share. Yeah, not great. Right now you're above $8 per share. That's better than being under $8 per share, but it's still been a rough last 2 days or so. You're down over 40% within the last 2 days. It has not been pretty whatsoever. Now, I think one of the biggest things that's kind of not helping us, I guess, is the estimates from Ortex for the data around a short squeeze are just not accurate, okay? 10.23% estimated short interest of free float. That is not true. That is not accurate. Don't think it is for 1 second. The real short interest is likely 40-50+%. Last we knew on August 15th, the short interest was 29.25%. So to sit here and say AMC stock has dropped from $33 to $8 in that same time period, and AMC's short interest is down 70%. No, that's not true. The short interest has exploded. So I do think there's going to be a lot more optimism around a short squeeze when the short interest is actually representative of what the actual short interest is. We don't know. We simply just don't know right now. So you're kind of in limbo. And when stocks have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% short interest, which is actually possible to get over 100% short interest, then it changes a lot, okay? It puts a lot of shorts on notice. It puts retail investors on notice to say, hey, there could be a short squeeze here. But when people are looking at the Ortex data and they're seeing AMC stock, which has absolutely plummeted, and the short interest is estimated at 10%, that's not exciting, okay? That's the lowest you've been at in a very long time for AMC. Then when you look at other things, like the short score of 66, 139.11 million worth of short positions, free float out on loan at 13.13%, shares out on loan 20.71 million, days to cover 2.42, cost to borrow of 8.15%, utilization of 55%. That's not exciting. But let's say you did get 100% short interest. That's exciting for sure. But what that will also do is really change the cost to borrow fees as well. I've been very vocal on this. I don't know if these cost to borrow fees are true or accurate. It's possible they could be. You got a cost to borrow fee currently of about 5.5% from Interactive Brokers. Ortex estimates 8.5% cost to borrow max, cost to borrow average of 6.5%, cost to borrow minimum of 5.28%. Very low no matter which way you want to put it, okay? And I do think once the short interest number comes out, again, could be over 100%, then that's where you're going to see a lot of the cost to borrow fees actually change and become a little bit more accurate or representative of the true numbers. Now, AMC stock is not on the threshold securities list anymore, and that's something that should be pointed out. That's not to say there's no more FTDs that need to be covered. That's absolutely not the case. It just means right now you're not seeing, I believe it's 0.5% of the float being in FTDs every single day, or consecutively for 15 days. So what that means is, hey, That's not happening now, but you still have millions and millions and millions of shares that still need to be covered on, that still need to be bought back. And this has an anti-dilutive effect on AMC stock. Now, in the grand scope of things, AMC, the management, is going to raise 40 million shares of AMC to raise capital, which just doesn't, sound like the best thing to do, considering you would want to drive up the share price before you dumped on the markets. They don't understand that, okay? Whatever. That's fine. But the failure to delivers are going to have an anti-dilutive effect on AMC stock. So basically, there's millions of additional shares out there that should not be out there. And that's one of the ways that you can actually get over 100% short interest. When you were seeing, 10, 14, 12 million FDDs, multiple million FDDs every single day, that's where those are just shares out there that should not be out there. So that's where you can start to get over 100% short interest. That's one of the ways that you can start to get over 100% short interest. Now, I don't know if it's over 100%. I just think based on the price action we've seen with AMC and where the prior reading was of 29.25%, it is possible that we are over 100%. And what happens when stocks are over 100% short interest? It usually ends badly for hedge funds, institutions, market makers, just anyone that is short or betting against AMC. So there's that. Let's look at the stock O tracker data. You have calls in the money of 2,288, calls out the money 128,126, puts in the money 124,503, puts out the money at about 40,000. So there is a lot of option activity for this week, but I wouldn't hold my breath just because of we don't have a lot going on in the markets. We don't have anything that I can foreshadow that is significantly important to AMC. Obviously, if news comes out, that's a different story. I would expect that we get some form of bounce towards the end of the week, considering the last 2 days you've dropped about 40%. And if AMC comes out and actually announces they've raised the 40 million shares of capital and they're done for now, that could be a pretty bullish thing for AMC stock, as you have definitely priced in this dilution over the last couple of weeks now. And if you look at some of the technical factors like the RSI at 24.27, severely oversold. If you look at the MACD, extremely negative. It comes to a point of how far is it going to go, right? A stock can only go to zero unless the company is going bankrupt at some point during the level of fear out there, or greed if you're a short. It gets to a point where it's unsustainably low, and I think you have gotten to that unsustainably low point. Take a look at what Eric Wold just said a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, maybe yesterday. I don't know. Days start to get jumbled, I guess. But he just said that AMC stock could hit $45 per share within the next 12 months. The stock is at $8, okay? Where is a fair ground there? I don't know, but it's definitely not $8. If you even look at the average analyst price targets on AMC stock, I get it. They're analysts. They don't know shit. But the average analyst price target is $21.68. This is from, 9 analysts in total. That is a return potential today of 151.5%. You don't have to even see the stock go, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus dollars just to get back to $20 or $21. That's a return of 151% today. So that's why I do plan to go in with some leveraged options. That's just my personal choice. You guys can choose to do what you guys want to do. I just think that is the only thing that really makes sense for my position as of right now. So there is that. Now I want to talk about September. September tends to be pretty rough for markets, and it's called the September effect. It refers to the historically weak stock market returns observed during the month of September. In fact, September has been the worst performing month on average going back nearly a century. And it says it's a market anomaly in the sense that it occurs without any real causal link or event, challenging the efficient market's hypothesis. There is a statistical case for the September effect depending on the period annualized. But much of the theory is anecdotal. In recent years, the median return for September has actually been positive. So it doesn't always have to be some, really terrible month. But what's interesting is the first 2 weeks of September tend to be pretty bullish, especially the second week of September. So next week historically tends to be pretty bullish, but the end of the month tends to be really bad. So by then we're going to have the exchange reported short interest numbers for AMC stock, and it wouldn't surprise me if the markets do sell off, and it just happens to be so that a lot of bad events tend to happen in September, right? Think even 9/11, think Lehman Brothers, right? Think these different events, the taper tantrum, the trade wars, right? A lot of these bad events tend to happen in September, so it wouldn't surprise me if markets do fall and AMC can rise towards the end of this month. And that's not really what I'm holding my hat on, but I do think that is a decent probability as of right now, considering the fall that we have seen. I mean, that only just lasts so long, right? And it hasn't just been a fall for AMC. The entire Russell 2000 has been doing very, very poorly as of lately. But considering this, again, you hit a low of $7.71 per share today. You want to find support around $8 per share, and then you can start to make that upside move. $8 per share probably going to be a very important level, so I would personally keep my eyes on $8 per share. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.